What makes a great actor? What makes someone the greatest? There's a lot of BS on this topic, isn't there? Well, not here. Let's see if we can define it for real. It seems to involve how believable you are on screen, right? The types and amount of emotion you can show, the ability to look good, to mimic someone else, and probably to change your personality. Seems like a good list, right? And if someone can do these things, we'll say they're good at it. If they can do some of them, like look good, then they'll be good enough to use, even if they're only okay at the others. Okay, if they have none of the others. But even with these measures, it's hard to tell who the best actor ever actually is. People can get confused about which of the things is most important and end up trying to win the Oscar for most acting. And while we can agree that some people can't do any of it,
you need that charming bitch.
There are plenty of actors who can do almost all of it. And with all those boxes ticked, at least for me, it becomes impossible to tell why one actor might be considered better. And I'm talking, of course, about Marlon Brando.
He was the actor.
Who do you think you are, a couple of queens or something?
He was a force and a king.
You get up, you big tub of guts.
He's quite simply the best actor in cinema.
He had the looks, he had the charisma, and the emotional range as much as anyone. But it's way beyond that. Why is he considered the greatest actor of all time? Let's see if we can find an actual, useful answer. Okay, beyond the normal stuff, the first place to look is at what I call the alpha emotions, the external sources of feeling that mix with our reactions to movies. And Brando has these in spades. For one, he's credited with popularizing method acting. This makes him someone who influenced other people, which makes the people who know it feel extra admiration when they see him.
And Matthew Broderick was scared to death to work with Brando because Brando tilted the axis of American filmmaking.
On top of that, Brando played games with the media.
Were you happy with the way The Godfather came out?
I'd rather not talk about movies. I don't think they're...
This mysteriousness drew people into caring about him in the same way they would a mystery in a movie.
We couldn't survive a second if we weren't able to act. Acting is a survival mechanism.
And added even more to his performances. Now, of course, that dickery was mostly a work, but the effect it had was real, as was the reputation he had for being the very best.
He's a genius, I think, at it.
Which makes people feel, among other things, like they're cool for watching him, fitting in with the latest and best stuff. But that's not the whole of it. That reputation for being the best has to start somewhere. And this is where we get into what actually made him special as an actor. Because he did have charisma and emotional range.
He was really capable of all human emotions.
But method acting, when he started, was almost unheard of. And it made him more believable than almost any other actor at that point. And that difference stood out on screen.
You must be Stanley. I'm Blanche.
Oh, you're still sister. Yeah, where's the little woman?
But other actors eventually became more believable too. And still, Brando seems to stand alone.
Who is the greatest actor you've ever seen?
Marlon Brando.
Really?
Oh, no question.
Because, and this is a big one, acting is not just about being believable. We've talked here about how there are actually multiple believable options in a scene. And the key, once you can be believable, is which option you choose. And Brando understood this in a way that so many other actors never have. Because the truth is that showing feeling as an actor is just a tool. You show feeling to create feeling in the audience. Most movie stars today will get cast because their natural personality can create a certain feeling in audiences, and they then only have to focus on being believable. So that's all they think they're doing. But Brando started out by focusing on making his choices in ways that would affect the audience the right way. So he could play many different characters and take people through lots of different experiences. And when he was older, he would talk about this more.
Never let the audience know how it's going to come out. Get them on your time. And when that time comes and everything is right, you just let fly.
And you can see the difference in his performances. Here in Viva Zapata, rather than trying to be just a tough guy, you can see his concern.
Give me your watch.
His frustration when talking.
Give it to me. I'll take my rifle. Now you can have your watch back.
but without this, never.
Now here in One-Eyed Jack's,
Think it'd be a good idea if you'd hand over your gun.
you can see that he's drawing out the moment, using tension, thinking of how it plays to the audience. And we know it's not that the director told him to do it.
All right.
Because in this movie, he was the director. And he could even do this with single lines.
Even though you've been raised as a human being, you are not one of them.
Or moments.
You're an errand boy, sent by grocery clerks to collect a bill.
And he recognized that it was all about what was happening on screen.
You didn't talk acting stuff with him. He'd come in and go, and that meant, where is the shot? And
While other actors, hard-working actors, can end up doing months of research on things that don't come across to the audience, so Brando was more efficient, and he could show up late, not read the script, with the director, and still look great. But outside of him, that's why we have the blunted feeling when watching most actors. We don't criticize them because they're not phony, but we come up numb when watching them. And we just go along with what others say is good, because we don't have the words for it, but the visceral feeling isn't there. But in Marlon Brando's case, it was. And he did it so accurately, on top of everything else working for him, that he made those who watched him never forget him, and consider him the best actor of all time. Thanks. Now, a quick side note, if you liked this video, subscribe! Click the bell so you get notified about the new videos. And share it on Reddit, 4chan, Facebook, wherever. It really makes a difference. And I've been told that I don't say that often enough. So please do, and bye for now.